Hello everyone. Good afternoon. I am Gaurav Kumar, your teaching assistant of the course of Usability Engineering. Today I will try to briefly summarize the course, what we have learned since last 12 weeks. Okay. So, as we conclude our journey through the Usability Engineering course, today I want to take a moment to reflect on the incredible path we have traveled together. Okay, so over the past 12 weeks, we have embarked on a transformative adventures, deploying into the heart of what makes the technology user friendly and effective. So, from the foundational principles of usability in week 1 to advanced technology of usability testing in week 12. So we have explored every fact of creating systems that are not just a functional but also delightful to use. And we have learned how to integrate the usability into every stage of the software life cycle from requirements gathering to development. Okay, and we have discussed the power of user-centered design, understanding that true innovations comes from putting users at the forefront of our design decision. And we have mastered tools and techniques for prototyping, from low fidelity sketches to high fidelity interactive prototypes. And we have learned how to conduct usability testing that informs and improves our designs. So throughout this journey, we have been guided by industry standards and best practices, ensuring that our creations are not just innovative but also grounded in a proven methodology. So whether it was understanding cognitive load, conducting a competitive analysis, or applying heuristics evaluations, so each week has a build up on the last, equipping us with a comprehensive toolkit for usability engineering. So, as we close this chapter, I invite you to join me in celebrating the knowledge we have gained and the skills we have developed. So, today we will not only conclude the course but also embark on a new journey as usability engineering, equipped to shape the future of the technology and user centered design that inspire and empower. Okay, so this is the what we have learned so far from the each week since last 12 week. Okay, so as we have learned from the week 1 introduction to the usability engineering, and the week 2 what we have learned the utility in the software development, and week 3 user centered design process where we put the users uh, on the center, on the we design something on the on the basis of the user requirement. Okay, and the week 4 what we have learned, we learn the req- requirement analysis 1, and week 5 requirement analysis 2, 3, etc. And so far we have learned the in week 7 cognitive issues, in week 8 competitive analysis and preparing for the design briefing, in week 9 conceptualizations and prototyping. Okay, and week 10 conceptualizations and prototyping 2, and week 11 usability heuristic and testing, and week 12 what we have learned the usability heuristics and testing too. So these are the course layout which we have learned since last 12 week. Okay, so I hope you all gain something from these courses. Okay, so moving towards the next, and today we will just uh, see the MCQ type questions from week 1 to the week 12, so that we will quickly recap the courses. Okay. So our very first question is, what are our first question is from week 1, introduction to the usability engineering. So uh, from this chapter, we have the two questions. Our first question is, what are the three primary attributes of usability? Let me repeat the questions. What are the three primary attributes of the usability? Option A is effectiveness, efficiency, satisfaction, and option B is speed, accuracy, and reliability. Option C is cost, time, quality, and D is design, development, and deployment. Please pause the video wherever you are watching and try to answer yourself. And meanwhile, I will also provide explanation part on in a just a few seconds. So please pause the video and attempt yourself, and then I will also provide the answers. Okay. So I hope you have go through these questions. So the correct answer for this question is option A: effectiveness, efficiency, and satisfaction. Okay, let me repeat the questions. What are the three primary attributes of usability? So, the three primary attributes of the usability is effectiveness, efficiency, and satisfaction. Okay, let me provide you the explanation part why option A is the correct. So, the majestic trio of the usability: effectiveness is like a superhero cap that empowers users to achieve their goals and ease, saving the world from frustrations. Efficiency. So, efficiency is the turbocharger that makes a task zoom by in a no time, turning user into productivity, results, and satisfactions. And satisfactions, it's the cherry on top, ensuring users feel like they are walking on a sunshine after interacting with your systems, leaving them walking on leaving them beaming with joy. So without these three, usability is just a hollow sail, a mere whisper in the wind. Let me explain you again. It's the and satisfaction is the cherry on the top, ensuring users feel like they are walking on sunshine after interacting with your system. So leaving them uh, beaming with joy. Okay. And let me also explain other options why they are not correct. Why B, C, D are incorrect. So option B, C, D are likely imposters trying to, to steal the on the spotlight. So speed, accuracy, reliability, and might sound important. So, but they are more about system performance and user experience. So, a bit like trying to win a race without knowing where you are going. So, cost, time, quality. So, they are the crucial for the project management, and but they don't directly define usability. So it's like trying to build a house without considering who will live in it. And design development. So option D are stage of the software life cycle, are not attribute of usability. So a bit like confusing the journey with the destinations. Okay, and as you can and now you can also see the right answer as the expression part on your screen. So yeah, here you can go. So as you can read it here that option A, effectiveness, efficiency, satisfaction is the right answers, and is the majestic joy of the usability. So effectiveness is like a superhero cap, empowering users to achieve their goal with each, and efficiency is turbocharger that makes tasks zoom by, low time and satisfaction. So it's the cherry on the top. So ensuring users feel like they are walking on sunshine after interacting with your system. So without these three, usability is just a hollow shell. Okay. So moving to ask the next questions. Our next question is again it's from week one. So our next question is which of the following is not a historical foundation of the usability engineering? So let me repeat the questions. Which of the following is not a historical foundation of usability engineering? The first one is military design in 1940s, GUI development in the 1980s, and option C, mobile revolutions in the 2000s. And option D is space explorations in the 1960s. Okay, please pause your videos and try few answers. And meanwhile, I will also provide the correct answers for the particular questions. So first, please try yourselves. Okay. Okay. So I hope you all must try these questions. So the correct answer for this particular question is option D, space exploration in the 1960s. Okay, let me provide you the explanations why option D, space explorations in 1960 is the correct answer for the question which of the following is not a historical foundation of usability engineering. So let me provide you the explanation parts. So while space exploration has been a groundbreaking journey, so it's not directly linked to the roots of usability engineering. Usability, Usability's historical milestones are more about military design. GUI is not a mobile tech; it's revolutions how we interact with the technology, like a series of thunderbolts illuminating the sky. And space explorations, though how inspiring, doesn't fit into this specific narrative. So it's like trying to find a needle in a hashtag. So when we are looking for a different treasure altogether. Okay, so let me also provide why option A, B, and C are incorrect. So A, B, and C are like the pillar of usability history. So military design in the 1940s laid the groundwork for human factors. GUI development in 1980s transformed the desktop computing and mobile revolution in the 2000s. See, charge the game of for a mobile device, each playing a significant role in shaping usability principles like a master builder constructing a magnificent castles. Okay, and as you can see, the explanation part on your screen. So as I've written here, the while space exploration has been a groundbreaking journey and it's not directly linked to the root of usability engineering. So usability's historical milestones are more about military design, GUIs, and mobile tech. So each revolutionizing how we interact with technology, space explorations through awe-inspiring doesn't fit into this specific narrative. Okay. So moving to ask the next questions. What? So our next question is. So now we are moving towards the week two. So usability in software development. Okay. So again, we have picked up the two questions from this week. Usability in software development. So our first question is at which stage of the software life cycle is usability typically integrated? So first one is requirement, design testing, option B development, deployment, and maintenance, and C is the planning, analysis, implementations, and option D is the design, testing, and development. Okay, so please pause the videos and try yourself, and then I will also provide the right answers as well as the explanation part in just few seconds. Okay. So the correct answer for this question is option A. Requirements, design, and testing is the right answers. So let me provide you the explanation why this requirements, design, testing is the correct one. Okay. So So imagine building a house without considering how people will live in it. So integrating usability during requirements ensures you are building for the right needs. Design makes sure it's user friendly, and testing validates that it all works as intended. So this trio is crucial for creating software that users sorry love a symphony of usability that harmonize every step up the way. And let me also provide why option B, C, and D are incorrect. So option B, C, and D are like trying to fit a square pegs into a round hole. Okay, so development, deployment, maintenance are important stage, but they are not where usability is primarily integrated. So it's like trying to decorate a house without first building the foundation. So, and next one is planning, analysis, and implementations are a broad phase that don't specifically focus on usability. So a bit like navigating without a map and design. Testing. Next is design, testing, and development. So, Mr. Crucial requirements phase is like starting a journey without knowing where you are going. Okay. And now, as you can see, the crucial part on your screen, the right answer and the expression part on your screen. That option is the right answers. Requirements, design, and testing. So, as I've written here, that imagine building a house without considering the how people will live in it. So, integrating usability during requirements so ensures you are building for the right needs. Design makes sure it's user friendly and testing. So validating that it's all works as intended. So this trio is crucial for creating software that users love. Okay. So now moving towards the next questions. Our next question is question number 4. Again, this question is from the week 2. So the question is, what is the benefit of integrating usability early in the software development? Option A, increase cost. B, reduce the rework. C, faster deployment. And D, a higher complexity. Okay. So the correct answer for this question is option B, reduce and rework is the right answer. So, okay, so think of early usability integrations like having a crystal ball that shows you potential problems before they became costly nightmares. So, by addressing usability early, you avoid the reward monster that can devour your budget and timeline. So it's like having a superpower that saves you from a future headache and turns your project into a runway success. Okay, and let me explain the other option as option A, C, and D are incorrect. So these are like a false promises, increased cost. So increased cost is actually what happens when you don't integrate usability early. So a bit like ignoring a leak in the roof until it's become a flood flood. So faster deployment. So might be a goal, but it's not the primary benefit of the early usability integration. So it's like a trying to rush a masterpiece without ensuring it's a perfect. And higher complexity is more likely to occur if usability isn't considered early on a bit, like adding more puzzles to a maze without a map. Okay. So now, as you can see on your screen, the right answer and the explanation part on your screen. So I have clearly written here the think of early usability integration like having a crystal ball that shows you potential problems before they become a costly nightmares. So by addressing usability early, you avoid the dread rework monster that can review your budgets and timeline. So it's like having a superpower that saves you from a future headache. Okay. So moving ahead towards next. So now we came to the week three from user-centered design process. So again we have choose the two questions from this week. So our first question is what is the core principle of UCD? Option A, prioritize technical feasibility. Option B, focus on user needs. And option C, emphasize cost reductions. And option D, enhance system complexity. Okay. So the right answer for this question is focus on user needs is the right answer. Option B is the correct answer. Let me explain you why UCD is all about. So UCD is all about putting users on a pedestal and and designing solutions that cater to their needs, desires, and pain points. So it's like being a master chef who crafts dishes based on what's the the dinner curve, not just what's easy to cook. By focusing on user needs, you create uh, a product that are not just functional but also delightful. So, uh, culinary masterpiece that leaves users wanting more. And option A, C, and D are like misguided recepts. So, so prioritize the technical feasibility. So might make a development easier, but it does not ensure user satisfaction. And it's like serving a meal that looks great but tastes blunt. So emphasize the cost reductions could lead to cutting corners that harm usability, a bit like using a cheap ingredient in a garment disk. And enhance the system complexity is like more like to confuse users than delight them. So it's like adding too many spice to dish, making it unpalatable. Okay. And now, as you can see here, that focus on users is the right answers. And as I've written here, that UCD is all about putting users on a pedestals and designing solutions that are catered to their needs, desires, and pain points. So it's like a being a master chef who craft a dish based on what the dinner crave, not just what's easy to cook. By focusing on user needs, you create a products that are not just functional but also delightful. So moving towards the next question, our next question is which framework outlines the phases of human-centered design? ISO 9001, ISO 9241 to 210, and option C ISO 14001, ISO 27001. What is the correct answer? So the correct answer for this question is ISO 9241 to 210. 10 is the right answer. So it's like a roadmap for a human-centered design, guiding you through a phase like understand, specify, design, and evaluate. So it's a structured approach that ensures you are always keeping users at the forefront of your design decisions. So a beacon of a light in the decision journey, in the design journey. Sorry, and why a, C, and D are like wrong turns on the design journey. So ISO 9001 focus on quality management, a different kind of map altogether. And ISO 14001 is about environmental management. So are novel cause but not directly related to human-centered design. And ISO 27001 deals with information security, so another important aspect, but not the framework for human-centered design. Okay, so you may go through this explanation part. So as I've written that ISO 9241 to 210 is like a roadmap for human-centered design, guiding you through a phase like understand, specify, design, and evaluate is a structured approach that ensures you are always keeping users at the forefront of your design decisions. Okay. So next one is from week 4, requirement analysis 1. So again, I have picked up the two questions from this week. So our first question is, what are common methods for gathering user requirements? Option A, surveys, interviews, or focus group. And next one is brainstorming, mind mapping, SWOT analysis. And C is prototyping, testing, deployment. And D is design development and maintenance. Okay. So what is the right answer? So survey interviews, focus groups. So surveys, interviews, and focus groups are the correct one. So these methods are like a superpower that help you uh, tap into the mind of your users. So survey gives you broad insights. Interview provides a deep dives, and focus group offer a dynamic view of user opinions. So together they form a powerful toolkit for understanding what user truly need. So a magic crystal ball that reveals user desires. Okay, and why B, C, and D are incorrect? So they're like using a wrong tools for the job. So brainstorming, mind mapping, and SWOT analysis are great for idea generations and strategic planning, but they don't directly gather users' requirements. So it's like trying to build a house without asking the future occup- occupants what they want. Prototyping, testing, and deployment are a stage of the design process, not the methods for gathering requirements. So, a bit like trying to decorate a room without first designing it. And design, development, maintenance are life cycle phase that don't specifically focus on requirement gathering. So it's like navigating a ship without a compass. Now you can go through this. As I've written here, these methods are like superpower that help you tap into the mind of your users. Survey give you a broad insights. Interviews provide deep dives, and focus groups offer a dynamic view of user opinions. So together they form a powerful toolkit for understanding what users truly needed. Okay. So next one is, what type of data is typically collected through focus group? Quantitative, qualitative, both quantitative and qualitative, neither quantitative or qualitative. What is the right answer? So the correct answer is qualitative. So focus focus groups are like a rich, vibrant trap, uh, tapestries that weave together diverse perspective and opinions. So they yield a qualitative data which is invaluable for understanding user attributes, behaviors, and motivations. That so it's like a gathering a glimpse into the user's world through their own worlds. So a treasure trove of insights. Why ACD are incorrect? Because ACD, A, C, and D are like misinterpreting the data. So quantitative data involves numbers and statistics, which isn't what focus group primarily provide. So it's like trying to measure the beauty of sunset with a ruler. So both A and B, C might be true for some methods, but focus groups are specifically known for a qualitative insight. So a bit like trying to capture a rainbow in a jar, and neither A nor B is incorrect because focus groups do yield valuable qualitative data. It's like a saying a masterpiece painting has no artistic value. Okay. So as you can see that focus groups are like a rich, vibrant textures that weave together diverse perspectives and opinions. So they yield qualitative data which is invaluable for understanding user attributes, behaviors, and motivations. So it's like getting a glimpse into the user's world through their own world. So next one is moving to ask the next question from week 5, requirement analysis 2. So which tools is used to visualize and clusters the insights from users' data. A affinity diagrams, mind mapping, or both A and B. And option D, neither A nor B. So the correct answer is option C, both A and B. Affinity diagrams and mind mapping both are the correct for this question. So imagine having a magic lens that helps you to see the patterns and connections in a user data. So both affinity diagrams and mind maps serves as this lens, allowing you to organize and visualize insights in a way that reveals hidden gem of user needs. So a treasure chest overflowing with valuable insights. Okay, and why A, B? So So why A, B are incorrect? So as stands alone answer. So while affinity diagrams A and mind map are both excellent tools, so choosing just one overlooks the versa- versatility of using both. So each offers unique benefits, and together they provide a comprehensive toolkit for analyzing user data. So a dual superpower that makes you unstoppable. So next question, question number 10. Okay. So now as you can see the expression part on your screen that imagine have, so you can go through this slide. I'm not reading it. So now moving towards the next questions. So question number 10. What is the purpose of Moscow prioritizations? To reduce project scope or to prioritize user needs into must have, should have, could have, won't have features, or to increase the project timeline, or to enhance the system complexity. So the correct answer for this question is to prioritize user needs into must have, should have, could have, won't have features. Moscow prioritize. Must have, should have, could have, won't have. Won't have feature. So why B is the correct one? So Moscow prioritize is like having a super efficient filter that helps you focus on what truly matters. By categorizing the features into must have, should have, could have, and won't have, you ensure that your project stay on a track and delivers the value to users precision guided message that hits the target every time. Okay, and why other are incorrect? Because option A, C, and D are like misguided the filters to reduce the project scope. So might be a side effect, but it's not the primary purpose. It's like trying to trim a tree without knowing which branch to cut. Next is to increase project timeline is unlikely prioritizing the helps streamline efforts a bit like trying to slow down a speeding train. And to enhance system complexity is more likely to occur without clear prioritizations. So it's like adding more puzzles to a mess without a map. Okay. And as now you can see on your screen that Moscow's prioritizations is like having a super efficient filter that helps you focus on what truly matters by categorizing the features into must have, should have, could have, and won't have. You ensure that your project stay on track and delivers value to users. Okay. Moving to ask next question. So now we are going to summarize from week 6 requirement analysis 3. So again we have pick up pick up the two questions from this week. The first one is what is the benefit of mapping user needs to features? So option A, okay, let me repeat the questions. What is benefit of mapping user needs to features? Option A, reduce project complexity, enhance user satisfaction by aligning features with user needs. Option C, increase development time. And option D, decrease project cost. Okay, please pause your video and try to figure out the correct answers, and then I will also provide the correct answers. Okay, so the correct answer for this question is option B, enhance user satisfaction by aligning features with user needs. So why B is the correct one? Because mapping user needs to feature is like a creating a perfect recipe for user satisfaction. So by aligning what you build with what user need, you ensure that product is not just functional but also delightful and relevant. So a plainly masterpiece that leaves user wanting more. ACD are incorrect because they are like incomplete recipes. So reduce the project complexity might happen, but it's not the primary benefit. It's like a simplifying uh, recipe without ensuring it stays good. Next one is increase development time. So could occur if not done effectively. Sorry, efficiently, but a bit like trying to cook a meal without the right ingredient. And decreased project cost is not directly related to mapping, so user needs to features. It's like to trying to save money by using cheaper ingredient in a gourmet dish. So as you can see here on your screen that Mapping user needs to feature is like creating a perfect recipe for user satisfaction. So by aligning what you build with what user need, you ensure that your product is not just functional but also delightful and relevant. So next is question number 12. So what is the purpose of scenario building in a requirement analysis? Option A, to create user personas and identify pain points. Option B, to design prototypes and to to conduct a usability testing. And option D, to prepare a design briefs. What is the right answer? So the correct answer for this question is option A, to create a user personas and identify pain points. So why this is correct? Because scenario building is like crafting a compelling story that challenges and motivations, allowing you to design solutions that address their real needs. So a novel that unfold the mysteries of user behavior. So why B, C, D are incorrect? Because they are like misusing the story. To design the prototypes is a later stage. To conduct the usability testing is about validating designs, and to prepare design brief. So it's like about outlining the project objectives. So a bit like trying to write the ending of a book without first creating the charters. Okay. Now, as you can see the expression part on your screen, so I have clearly written here the scenario building is like to crafting a compelling the story that brings the user personas to life. So it helps you to understand their journey, challenges, and motivations. So allowing you to design solutions that address their real needs. Okay. So moving ahead to our next question. Our next question is from week 7, cognitive issues. So again, I have picked up the two questions from the week 7. As you are, as you can see on your screen, that our first question is what type of cognitive load are identified in cognitive load theory? Let me repeat the questions. What type of cognitive load are identified in cognitive load theory? So option A is intrinsic, ex- extraneous, German, and option B is intrinsic, extraneous, emotional. Option C, German, emotional, contextual. Option D is intrinsic, contextual, emotional. What is the right answer? So the right answer for this question is option A, intrinsic, extraneous, German. So cognitive load theory is like a master key that unlocks the secret of how our brains process informations. Intrinsic load is about task complexity. Extraneous load is about unnecessary informations, and German load is about learning process. Okay, so understanding these helps you to design our interface that are cognitively friendly, a symphony of cognitive harmony. Why B, C, D are incorrect? Because they are like incorrect keys. Intrinsic, extraneous, emotional. So introduce an unrelated concept of emotional load. So a bit like trying to unlock a door with a key that does not fit German emotional contextual. Next, sees mixes unrelated term. So a puzzle, what missing pieces. An intrinsic contextual emotional is also a mix of unrelated concepts, a recipe with the wrong ingredients. So as you can see here that cognitive load theory is like a master's key that unlock the secret of how our brains process information. So intrinsic load is about task complexity. Extraneous load is about unnecessary informations, and German load is about learning process. So understanding these helps you to design interface that are cognitively friendly. Okay. Moving to ask the next question, question number 14. So question number 14 is how can cognitive load to reduce in interface design? So option A, by increasing complexity and information uh, density. Based by using chunking and clear navigations, by reducing the feedback and error message. And next one is minimizing user interactions. Okay, so please try to answer. Okay, so the right one is the B. By using chunking and clear navigations is the right answer. Let me explain you why this is correct. Because reducing the cognitive load is like being a master chef who simplifies the recipes without losing flavor. So techniques like a chunking, breaking informations into manageable bits. So it's clear navigations make interface easier to understand and use. So reducing the mental fatigue and enhancing user experience are a clearly masterpiece that delights the mind. Okay, and let me also explain other part why they are incorrect, because they are likely like a recipe of disasters. So increasing complexity and information density would overload users a bit like trying to eat a whole elephant in one sitting. And reducing the feedback and error message could confuse users more, puzzle with missing piece. And minimizing user interactions might make the system less engaging. So a book with no story to tell. Okay. So as now you are seeing the explicit part on your screen, I have written out clearly that reducing cognitive load is like being a master chef who simplifies recipes without losing flavor. So techniques like chunking and clear navigation make the interface easier to understand and use, reducing the mental fatigue and enhancing user experiences. Okay, I hope it's clear to everyone. Okay, moving ahead to us next. So moving ahead to us the next week, week 8, which we have learned. So in week 8 we learn about the competitive analysis and design briefing. So again we have picked up the two questions from this week. Our first question is, what is the purpose of conducting a competitive analysis? Let me repeat questions. What is the purpose of conducting a competitive analysis? Please answer. We have few more questions and we will complete our sessions. Okay. So the right answer for this question is to identify the market gaps and benchmark features is the right answer. And why this is the correct one? Because competitive analysis is being a detective who uncovers the hidden opportunities and trades. So by studying the competitors, you can identify gaps in the market and understand how your product can stand out Sherlock Holmes. So moment that reveals the secret of the market. So the A is the right answer. I will also provide the other explanation why they are incorrect. Okay. B, C, and D are the incorrect one because they are like misusing the detective skills. So to design the prototypes is a later stage to conduct usability testing and is about validating the designs and to prepare design briefs. So is a more about outlining the project objectives. So a bit like trying to solve a mystery without gathering clues. So as you can see, the explanation part, which I have already written on this slide, you can read it from your screen. So competitive analysis is like being a detective who uncovers the hidden opportunities and threats. So by studying the competitors, you can identify gaps in the market and understanding how your product can stand out. Okay. Okay. So moving ahead to ask the next questions. So next one is question number 16. So what components should a design brief include? What components should a design brief include? Objective, constraints, target audience, design specifications, technical requirements, or a project timeline, budget allocations, or all of them. Yeah. Okay. So the right answer is all of the above. Is the right one because comprehensive design brief is like a treasure map that guides you entire design journey. So it should include the objectives, constraints, target audience, and design space. So technical requirements, project timeline, and budget allocations to ensure that everyone is on the same page. So a complete blueprint for success. So as you can see the expensive part, please go through this slide. I hope it's clear to everyone. Okay. So moving ahead towards the next week. So this is the summary of week 9. So again I have picked up the two questions from the conceptualizations and prototyping. So as I have pick up two questions. The first one is what methods are used for idea generations in conceptualizations? Yeah, please try to answer. The first one is brainstorming, scamper, mind mapping. Next, survey interviews or focus groups. Next one is prototyping, testing, and development. And next one is design development and maintenance. Yeah. So the right answer is brainstorming, scamper, and mind mapping is the right answer. Why this is correct? Because these methods are like a magic wands that spark the creativity and generate the innovations ideas. So brainstorming unleash the storm of ideas. Scamper helps you to transform the existing concepts, and mind mapping visualize the conceptual conceptualizations between the ideas to create the explanations what that eliminates the path to innovations. So A is the right answer. Let me also explain the other one why they are incorrect because the rest of them are like using the wrong magic spells. So surveys, interviews, focus group are great for gathering a user insights, but they are not primarily used for idea generation. So a bit like trying to find the inspirations in a library without reading the books. So the prototyping, testing, and deployments are stage of the design process, not the methods of generating the ideas. So puzzle with missing pieces. And the design, development, and maintenance are life cycle phase that that don't specifically focus on idea generations. So a journey without a map. Okay. So now you can see the expressive part on your screen in the next slide. Please go through this slide. So as you can see that these methods are like a magic wands that spark creativity and generative innovative ideas. And brainstorming the unleash the storm of ideas in Scamper helps you to transfer the existing concepts and mind mapping visualize the connections between ideas. Okay, moving to ask the next question. Our next question is question number 18. So what is the purpose of low fidelity prototyping? Yes, I've already teach you guys. The first one to create an interactive design to visualize the ideas quickly and facilitate the easy iterations or to conduct the usability testing or to prepare the design briefs. Yes, the correct answer for this question is to visualize the ideas quickly and facilitate the easy interactions. So basically, low fidelity prototyping is like sketching with a pencil, fast, flexibility and forgiving. So it allows you to quickly visualize the ideas and iterate it without investigating too much time or resources. So making it perfect. For early stage design explorations, a rapid sketch that bring ideas to life. Okay, and the rest one is incorrect one because they are like misusing the pencil. Yes, to create the interactive designs is more suited to high fidelity prototype, a bit like trying to draw a masterpiece with a carry on. To conduct the usability testing is a later stage, so low fidelity prototyping can be used for initial feedback. Yeah, and puzzle with some missing pieces. And to prepare the design brief is unrelated to prototyping, so a book without a story. Yeah, please go through this slide. We left up to 2 more weeks and then we will finish. Yeah. So coming to the week 10, so what we have learned. So in week 10, conceptualizations and prototyping 2. So I pick up the two questions again. So first question is which tools are commonly used for high fidelity prototyping? Which tools are commonly used for high fidelity prototyping? Figma, Adobe XD, Xura RP, or B. Sketch, InVision, Adobe, Photoshop, or both A and B, neither A or B. Yeah, please answer. C is the correct one because both and like Figma, Adobe XD, and Sketch, InVision, Adobe Photoshop. These are the tools which can be used for the high fidelity models. So these tools are like master craftsmen that help you to build the detailed interactive prototypes. So they allow you to create a design that feel almost like the real things. So enabling the effective usability, testing and feedback collections. So a symphony of design and functionality. While other are incorrect because while Figma, Adobe XD, Xura RP and Sketch, InVision, Adobe Photoshop are both excellent tools. So choosing just one overlook that the versatility of using both. So each offers the unique benefits and together they provide a comprehensive toolkit for high fidelity prototyping. So a dual superpower that makes you unstoppable. Okay, now you can see the expressive part on your screen. Please go through this slide. Yes, question number 20. What is the what is the benefit of using high fidelity prototype tools? What is the benefit of using high fidelity prototyping tools? So they allow for quick visualizations but lack interactivity. They enable the interactive design, walkthrough, and user testing, or they are only used for conceptualization. Next one, they are not suitable for usability testing. Yeah, please answer. We left up three more questions, then we will stop the session. So the right answer is option B. They enable the interactive design, workthrough, and user testing because they enable the interactive design, workthrough, and user testing. So these are basically high fidelity prototypes and are like test drives for your design. So they let you conduct the interactive testing, gather real feedback from users, and refine your design based on actual user behavior. So precision guided missile that hits the target every time. And why other are incorrect? Because they are misusing the test drive. So they allow for a quick visualizations but lack the interactivity. So as we move through for a low fidelity prototype, so a bit like trying to drive a car without an engine. Yes, and they are only used for conceptualizations is incorrect because high fidelity prototypes and used for the detailed design and testing. So a puzzles with missing pieces, and they are not suitable for usability testing because this is the this is the opposite of truth. So a book without no story to tell. Hmm. Okay. Now you can see the exponential part on the screen. So as I have clearly written here that high fidelity prototypes are like test drives for your design and they let you conduct the interactive testing, gather real feedback from users and refine your design based on actual user behavior. Okay. So moving ahead towards the next. So coming to the week 11, usability, heuristic and testing. So the first question is who developed the widely recognized usability heuristics? Jacob Nelson's Don Norman, Alan Cooper, and Steve Crow. It's a very basic question. Yes, correct. Jacob Nelson is the right answer because Jacob Nelson is the usability hero and who gave us the heuristics, a set of principles that act as a checklist for evaluating the interface usability. So these heuristics are like a compass that guides the designers towards the creating the user-friendly systems. So beacon of light in the design journey. Let me also explain why other are incorrect because Don Norman is indeed a usability legend, but he did not develop the specific heuristic. So a bit like a confusing a great with inventors of Alan Cooper and Steve Krug are. influent figures in usability. They are not the credit with developing the nation's heuristics, a puzzle with missing pieces. Okay. So you can see the explanatory part on your screen. Please go through this, right? Next one is, what is the purpose of heuristic evaluations? What is the purpose of heuristic evaluations? To identify usability issues based on stabilized principles, to conduct the user testing, to design prototypes, or to prepare design brief. So the correct answer is to identify the usability issues based on established principles. So heuristic evaluation is like having a team of expert detectives who scrutinize your interface against the established usability principles. So it helps identify potential usability problems before they become major issues. So a master's key that unlocks the secret of usability. Yes, is the right answer. And now you can see the explanation on your screen. Yeah, please go through this slide. So moving towards the next question. Our next question is from the last week, which we have learned usability heuristic and testing too. So this is the last one. So again, we have picked up the two questions from this week, and then we'll close the sessions. The first one is, what type of usability testing methods are commonly used? What types of usability testing methods are commonly used? I already taught you guys A by B testing, heuristic evaluations. Both. Yeah, yes. So both are the right answers. A and B. A by B testing as well as the heuristic evaluations, both are the correct answers. Because these methods are like a versatile toolkit that helps you to access the usability from different angles. A by B testings compare the versions, remote testings, which a broader audience, and heuristic evaluations use experts' judgment to identify the issues. So simply of the usability testing that covers all bases. Okay. Yes. Please go through this slide. Yes, I have written here that these methods are like a versatile toolkit that helps you to access the usability from a different angles. A by B testing compares the versions, remote testing reaches a broad audience, and heuristic evaluation uses expert judgment to identify the issues. This is the last question. What metrics typically analyze in usability testing? So, success rate, time on task, error rate, user satisfaction, emotional engagement, or cognitive load. Both A and B, neither A nor B. Yeah. Yes, both A and B are the correct answer. Because usability testing is like taking a comprehensive health check of your product. So you analyze both quantitative metrics, success rate, time on task, and qualitative metrics like user satisfactions, emotional engagement to get the complete picture of user experience. So a treasure chest overflowing with valuable insights. Yeah, C is the right answer. Okay, now you can go through this slide. So as usability testing is like taking a comprehensive health checkup of your product. So you analyze both quantitative and qualitative metrics to get a complete picture of user experience. So thank you guys. Thank you so much. I hope it give you the some sense of. So now I'm going to close the sessions. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. And if you guys have any questions or doubt or anything, you may reach out to me on kgaurav23 at the rate itk.ac.in, or you may visit my home profile. Okay, Gaurav Kumar IIT Kanpur. Yeah, you can get my contact details as well as the email. Yeah. So before your exam, if you have anything, please let me know in email on my email. Okay. So thank you guys. Thank you so much.